Fantastic. Welcome, ladies. Welcome to the Jen Show, and a special welcome to my beautiful guest here, Mandy Stevens. Mandy, where are you dialing in from tonight?
Charters Towers, so far north Queensland.
Far north Queensland.
And it's very hot. It's about
Very
30
hot.
degrees at the moment.
30 degrees, and it's only, what is it, mid-September, right?
Mid-September, yeah.
I remember. And I do love is it dry heat or is it a bit humid at the moment?
Well, we're supposed to sort of be having some little thunderstorms, so it is a little bit humid, which is, yeah, not what we normally have. But
no, it's normally a nice dry heat and gets very hot.
Yes.
So, do you remember when we met?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, it was at a ladies' weekend.
Was it a one-day retreat or were you staying there?
I was staying there, so I was staying there overnight,
Yes. And you were watching my posts, you were watching my transition and the things that I went through, right?
Yes,
And
you'd gone through you'd gone to all your training.
That's right, yes. And Mandy, you reached out to me one day and tell the ladies, before you reached out to me for Discovery Chat. Like to dive in deep there?
I had sort of not been feeling myself for quite some time, and I sort of knew things weren't going too well for me.
Yeah.
I was sort of, heading into a bit of a rabbit hole.
Right.
And I sort of, as I say, been following you and seeing what you do, not really quite understanding the emotional change technique.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought, well, I had previous to you, or probably maybe about 7 years ago, had gone to another life coach in Townsville, but I didn't really connect all that well with them. So I sort of thought, well, it's just not my thing, just not for me. But I don't know.
And that's an interesting point there, Mandy, if I might interrupt. I've just interrupted because I think that's a really important thing for women to know, right? You were testing the waters with another coach or maybe there's a counselor or a psychologist that the ladies are connecting with. And what's important to know is that the level of satisfaction and change and whatever it is, the outcome that you desire from the person that you're choosing to connect with in that way, because it's quite, I'm going to use the term almost like an intimate type relationship that you form and you develop when you're opening up your heart to someone, right? So it is important, and it was great that you identified what was right for you, working for you, and what wasn't, right? Tell us a little bit more. You were in a bit of a rabbit hole and...
Yeah, and I don't
know.
In the past. In the past, that's correct. And yeah, as I say, you were there, and I thought, well, it was probably pretty well my last chance to sort of, get out of this rabbit hole, and it worked.
Yeah, and that's deep to say that, because I wasn't aware that that's how you were like. You felt like this is my last chance. And I wonder how many women relate to that feeling of this is my last chance. And if this doesn't work, I don't know what I'm going to do kind of thing, Yeah. And that's a real, like, I know I've been there and, and it wasn't actually that long ago, I could say 12 months, 18 months ago, I was, in that rabbit hole. And I can so relate what it's like when you're digging around and it feels just like being the rabbit hole that everything's still just caving in on top. Caving in on top. That's right. Yeah. So you reached out and we had a discovery coaching chat, because that's the step one, right? So how did you find that? Do you remember?
I'm not sure, but as I say, I think it was just for some reason you popped up on my, on my feed, and I went, I know this lady. I've met her before. And I thought, well, as I say, this was my last chance, and
Yeah.
to have a go.
Yeah. And in that initial discussion, I remember now, this was something that I was planning to look up in the notes. You had said, I asked the question, how committed were you to the program?
Yeah.
Do you remember what you said?
I don't remember what I actually said. No.
No, I wish I'd looked it up actually, but I think it was around you were like an 8 out of 10 or something like that. And that is one of the things that's really important, isn't it? Is that you chose to be committed to the transformation that you wanted, to the change that you wanted, to be coached, right? And that's a really important point. So my next question I had was, what was the clincher to decide to come on the breakthrough journey? Was there one thing that really, like, maybe you said
whether there was actually one thing, but I thought, well, if I don't have a go, I don't have a go. And I was actually, and I was sort of curious as to what your technique was, because
right.
as I say, I don't know whether.
So Mandy, you decided to sign up because you have an option to sign up with me with the Breakthrough program for 3 weeks or 8 weeks. And what did you choose initially?
Well, initially I just choose the 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because again, I had no idea of what it was.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I'll just see what this is, and
test
pretty well within the second week, I just went, you know what, I'm going to follow this right through.
Yeah. Yeah. And that was an amazing decision that you made. Do you remember our first session is about your personal history, and we talk about your personal life. And it is really the only session where we go right back into the past. And I remember you telling me that there were things that we discussed in that session. If I'm correct, it was kind of surprising to you. You had never told anyone these things. How was that experience for you?
Yeah. I think it was just finally accepting, what had happened in my life as a child, and just continuing from there.
Yeah. And putting a voice to your story.
Yeah. And just as I say, sort of over the years, I've and a lot of that is to do with, as I say, I was born premature, so my ears were damaged in a haemoglib. And of course now I wear, 2 hearing aids, or a hearing aid in each ear. But I mean, for many years, and when I look back now, I sort of think, it's a little bit sad because I missed out on so much.
Yeah. And now going through the process, right? So you signed up for 3 weeks, and then those 3 weeks became 8 weeks.
8 weeks, yeah.
And we went through a lot of different negative emotions and the feelings that you were just talking about that happened in the past, and that looking back of thinking that there was things that you missed out on. However, through the program and through the emotional change technique, those emotions were able to be re-imprinted with the resources that you actually have now, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the process that we went through, I think there was a couple of things. How did you feel in yourself in those sessions? Were you feeling? At
first, I was sort of, I don't know whether it was like nervous or not. As I say, not really quite sure of how, this is me. This is who I am. And as I say, put that out there now because it's not so scary,
right? and at the time though, there was that wondering, wasn't there?
Yes.
And you wondered how safe you were going to feel in the process.
Well, that was a big thing of being safe. And with your program, and as I say, you and your personality, you just feel so safe.
I'm so glad. So did the program meet your expectations?
Yeah, and I noticed the change in myself today. People come up to me and go, "What have you done?"
Yeah. Well, I remember you sending me little messages and the little conversations that we had of different light bulb moments that happened in between. Yeah. So how is your life different now to what it was 8 weeks ago or even 12 months ago?
12 months. Well, up to sort of, I'm enjoying life.
Great.
I'm going back to doing things that I want. I've just officially signed up for CrossFit this morning.
It's just amazing. And I'm just so proud of every step that you've taken, because in between our sessions, there was always tasking for you to do. And you did the tasking and you created other things for yourself to do. And that's what makes a difference when we're committed to the change, is that commitment first and foremost to ourselves, which is what you were and what you did. And I was so proud of you. So to wrap us up tonight, lovely Mandy, what were some highlights that you'd like to tell us about? Perhaps some of the tasking was a little bit fun, was it not?
It was, yeah. And it brought out probably the creativity in me. And as I say, that was another thing that I joined here in Charters Towers, was our Towers Art.
Yes.
And got very, very involved with that as well. So that was a great help, sort of doing journaling and stuff like that. And can I just show the ladies that the couple of, what did we say? Sassy and sexy.
The sassy and sexy version of Mandy. What have you got to show us?
Okay, so for my sassy, and trouble is they came at the end of winter, so I haven't actually worn them properly yet, so I'll have to wait till. With some lovely.
Oh, some sassy boots. Look at those boots.
Boots.
I love them. And I love that they're white. They're gorgeous.
Which is probably not the best up here.
It's totally perfect.
So that the sexy needs to be practical.
Oh, does it? Okay. Look at that, girls.
Lacy underwear.
Beautiful lacy underwear. So these little things were some tasking that Mandy had, and it just fitted the subject matter that we were talking about at the time, right? Because the tasking meets the breakthrough that the women are having. And I just love that you brought all of you to the table, Mandy. It was so spectacular, honestly, so spectacular.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you. And that's been a journey whilst we've been going through the breakthrough program. So it's just been an amazing experience to see your growth. And I applaud you seriously from the bottom of my heart, because any woman who chooses to invest in themselves, and you've invested and committed to that investment and seen it through to the end, and you're still moving forward with your future and future focus. So the rabbit holes are in the past, right?
They are, yep.
Well, thank you, Mandy, for joining us. I really appreciate it. And thank you, ladies, for joining us as well and celebrating Mandy's success and going through the breakthrough. And if you would like to know more about going through the breakthrough program, I'm sure that Mandy wouldn't mind if you reached out to chat to her from her perspective as a client, as well as my calendar's open for you to make a booking to have that first discovery chat and find out all the details from me directly as well. All right, love you lots. Mwah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mandy.
Trust this lovely lady. She knows what she's doing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.